Haatchi and Little Bee by Wendy Holden. Read by Gabrielle Glaister. Author's Note. Once in a while in life, if we're lucky, we come across those who leave footprints, or paw prints, on our hearts, and we are never quite the same again. Haatchi and Little Bee touched me that way from the moment I was first alerted to their story in late 2012. There was something about the expressions on both their faces that tugged at my heart and demanded my attention. A lifelong animal lover and a champion of the underdog, I was intensely moved when I read more about their extraordinary experiences and how fate had brought them together. That would make a great book, I told myself. A few months later, I was unexpectedly asked if I would consider writing that book by Haatchi's adoptive mother, Colleen, and her future husband, Will, the father of Little Bee. A difficult project I'd been working on for months had fallen through, and I was not only available but in need of fresh inspiration. Fate, which had already played such a hand in the experiences of one dog and his boy, drew me to one of the most life-enhancing families I could ever hope to meet. This is so much more than just a story of unspeakable cruelty to a defenseless animal. It is the redemptive tale of what happens to the spirit in the face of unconditional love, trust, and forgiveness. It shows how the worst of human nature can bring out the best. A remarkable little boy and his family rescued a three-legged dog, who then paid them back 1,000-fold, changing all their lives forever. Their story is far from over, and it will continue to inspire and change the lives of everyone who is lucky enough to meet them in the years to come. I know, because it changed mine. And my heart is covered in their prints. Wendy Holden. Adapt yourself to the things among which your lot has been cast, and love sincerely the fellow creatures with whom destiny has ordained that you shall live. Marcus Aurelius. Prologue. Lifting his head, he sniffed the chill night air with his wet black nose. He tried to move, but the pain was too severe, so he slumped back down where he lay between the railway tracks. Peering right and left through amber eyes, he wondered where his human had gone, and why he'd been abandoned there in the dark. Had he done something wrong? Would someone come to help him? He sensed the train long before he heard it. The metal tracks began to vibrate almost imperceptibly at first. The vibrations increased until they pulsed like an electric current through his body, making him quiver from top to tail. Wriggling, he tried once more to raise himself, but still he couldn't move. The more he struggled, the more the pain shot through his lower body. Cocking his head to one side, his finely tuned hearing picked up the rumbling of the approaching train as the tracks shivered and shook beneath him. Then the spotlights of the freight locomotive were looming towards him like the oncoming headlights of a car. An unstoppable machine. Its destination was the massive goods and marshalling yard adjacent to New Spitalfields Fruit and Vegetable Market in East London. Still straining and trying to use his size and strength to overcome the pain that pinned him in the path of the monster, the big dog billowed clouds of steamy breath. But no matter how much he wrestled, he couldn't escape. Whimpering, he turned his head quizzically to look up at the driver illuminated high in his cab, completely oblivious to what was about to happen as his chain of 30-ton wagons sped closer and closer to where the creature lay. The driver couldn't say later what it was that made him glance down onto the tracks at the last minute. Maybe it was the look in the dog's eyes, or could it have been a final desperate bark? Either way, there was nothing he could do but let out a small cry as he felt the train give a slight jolt before rattling on into the night.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?